almost forgetting where buttons are at. Welcome back to another episode of Around the Clock Podcast. This is episode 7. Pardon the break. A show where we talk anything and all things sports and culture. I'm your host Dom. Alongside me, my other host Brandon, the entertainer, and Gary, the illustrious Gary Wayne, Bitcoin avid bettor. First off, I'd like to say apologize for the wait. I know that you guys been dying for this content.
Yes.
I've been getting a lot of DMs, couple emails, even got a couple letters to the P.O. box.
Did you really, or is that you send it?
No, we don't have a P.O. box.
I was about to say.
It sounds good, though. It sounds good. Let me cook. Brandon had a baby.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Baby boy.
Yes.
Baby boy. Clap it up for young Taysom.
Taysom.
Where'd that name come from?
It's not Taysom Hill.
Well, just curious.
I don't know.
He might be a quarterback tight end combo.
The wife has always liked the name Taysom, so she's that was all her.
Did you get her a push present?
Is that a real thing?
So I had never heard of it until after I had a kid, so I was able to escape. But apparently, it's a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just recently heard of it.
I feel like I'm not in that tax bracket when it comes to a push present.
Yeah.
I held her hand.
Are your brothers at least supposed to give you a push present?
Oh,
probably.
I think honestly,
I don't got no brothers.
I think I got my wife a
I got
push
cousins.
present, but I don't remember what it was.
Wasn't good enough then. Wasn't good enough. Then.
You know, my brother didn't even hold his nephew, but my youngest niece held her cousin.
Yeah, you got to pass the buck, man.
You're the youngest niece?
Yeah, his
Ooh.
daughter.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. And she didn't drop him?
But the oldest one didn't want to.
No.
Sophia said no. Emmy said
no.
I was just joking, handing it to Emmy. Emmy just put her arms out.
She would. This episode is brought to you by Smoked Old Fashions and Kirkland Water. Great stuff. Also, apparently, we have
baby. Let's go.
We have a new sponsorship.
Yes.
I use the term "we" very loosely, very loosely. No, just kidding. All jokes aside, we have a new sponsorship. Shout out to Baseballism. Make sure you check them out. They make some really dope merch. Go ahead and use the code.
Check out Gary's hat right there.
Brandon the Entertainer, right? That's the code. Brandon the Entertainer for BTE
15.
Oh, that kind of almost sounds like a pause. BTE 15.
BTE 15.
For how much off?
15% off any
and all merch. 15% off your entire cart.
As many things you want to get.
Yeah, just throw it in there.
That is
Save
a
for
good deal.
later. Save for later. Great deal. Check out the hat.
Yes.
Check out the. Never mind.
I got it on. Sorry, but I thought we was talking about Coach Prime, so I threw my Prime hoodie on.
We can talk about Coach Prime. We can get straight into it. He's 3-4 right now. 4-4.
4-4.
4-4. Okay.
We do have technology.
They doing all right. You know?
Yeah.
They won one game last year. That's what people got to remember.
Yes, they were.
Colorado football won one game last year. And I know people are like, they go, "Oh, you after your first 2 wins, y'all weren't saying that." You go, listen. We knew TCU, that was a breakout game. Okay? And we also knew that.
I mean, that was the most surprising game in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they just played the national championship the year before.
They were slated to lose every game this year. They were underdogs every single week this year.
Well,
and then they've won half their games.
I think that we're starting to see the Prime effect lose its effectiveness a little bit, though.
I don't think so.
I think so.
really.
How can you say that? They were underdogs every week.
I understand that they were underdogs, but you have to understand that prime time Deion Sanders brings a certain aura about him and an expectation. And the expectation that he put on himself, that the media didn't quite put on him, but everybody else around him did. He's not living up to it anymore. I mean, it was kind of like the fantasy thing. The Cinderella.
Not living up to
it was like the Cinderella story.
They've won 4 games.
Yeah, that's incredible for them.
With I don't care what he say, he ain't got as many dogs as he think he does.
No.
He doesn't.
And the dog he has needs to pick one side of the field. Otherwise, he's going to keep getting hurt.
Man, that last game, I'm not going to lie to you.
He got cooked.
He got mossed.
He got cooked.
He got mossed.
Is that worse than mossed? I don't know if there's a term worse than mossed.
Actually,
the guy caught the ball using his body.
I know.
I'm talking about Travis Hunter, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that was kind of for the game too.
That was the game. That was a game-winning pass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Again,
So
that leads back to the part of should he be playing this many snaps in a football game?
It's
No, I
Like that-
don't condone
Well,
anybody.
I'm not gonna
We
make I'm not
can't
gonna
say-
make excuses for him, but I mean the boy looked tired.
I
Here's
don't
the thing.
condone anybody playing 100+ snaps.
That was
Here's
ridiculous.
the thing. Here's the thing. He can do it. I'm not saying that he can't because he's proven to be able to do it. He did it the first 2 weeks without a problem, and we were cheering him for it. He messed up 1 week, we're throwing him under the bus. But listen, he just came off of a 3-week injury after that Colorado State game.
I think he missed 2
And-
games though, right?
Was it 2 games or 3 games? It was
But-
1 or 2, whichever one it was. But still,
just
you're
because he can do it doesn't mean that he should do it.
I think he should play both ways. I think it needs
Why?
to be limited how much he plays.
He
both
should
ways.
do what he's best at.
Yeah.
And
What is he best at after that performance? What is he best at?
We
Right
don't-
now,
we
it's
don't know.
receiver. I mean, he was the leading receiver that game.
yes, he
But-
was. He's highly targeted, but I mean he came in as the best DB, and he's always been the best DB.
He's still the best DB. He had a bad game,
Yeah.
but
I think-
that was playing both sides of the ball and coming off of
And
a
he should.
serious injury.
I think
You
you
should-
also have to ask: does Colorado need him to play both sides of the ball? I don't think they do.
They don't need him to
I
play
don't-
receiver.
They
he
don't.
is
They-
their best receiver, though.
No.
He's not. Now, I mean, statistically this year, he's not their
He's-
best
Well,
receiver.
because he hasn't played as much. But you saw him that game. That game, he was going
but
off.
Okay, but
Shador's
still.
only got 3 other guys that have gone
No,
for
They,
over
exactly.
100.
they will be
They have a-
fine without him. at
Yeah, you
receiver.
can
I
put him.
think so.
You
They
can
will
put him in
not
a
be
package.
fine with him not being DB.
Yeah, you can mix up a
So-
package for him. Throw him out there for maybe 5-10 plays on offense, maybe even a decoy, especially. But like,
Here's
dog.
the thing: that next year with him coming back too, because he's not draft eligible.
I can't even play pickup basketball without being tired, let alone play 100 snaps.
I mean, he's also 20 years old.
Yeah.
Even when I was 20.
But no, they got Komani. I'm going to butcher his name probably, but Komani McLean, is that his name? That's the other DB.
No.
Komani McLean, I think it is. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, one kid that was a 5-star recruit that he cut from the team. I think he was
No.
5-star. Or no, they're
He
asking. He hasn't played yet.
No, he just started playing. 2 weeks
Okay,
ago.
I think he was
okay.
a 4-star.
He's played the last 2 weeks, and now they just signed another 5-star recruit at DB again.
And they just signed
He's
a
like
4-star quarterback, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but I knew the DB.
That was for
and
25.
they got a line.
25.
Yeah, they got a lineman that's coming next year too. It's like I guess
Yeah.
he's like
I think if
number 2 lineman in the nation.
I
right
think
now.
if Prime can wait it out, he obviously has a history of following his son, so it's like it'll be interesting to see when Shador no longer plays there or Shiloh, what he can do. I think, but college football, I mean, especially it's about building you have to build a brand, you got to build a team, build a program, and obviously guys want to go there still, but it's just going to take a while before they become like a household name outside of him being the household name, I think.
man,
And Brandon thinks that they're going to win 8 games this year. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at their remaining schedule. They
You
play
got it up?
UCLA.
okay,
They play Arizona.
okay,
They play Utah.
okay,
They play Oregon State,
okay,
and they play Washington State.
okay.
So
That's 5 games, right?
3 of their last 5 games are against top 25 opponents.
They were a top 20. They were number 18 at one point.
Did they make it that high at 18?
Yeah, they made it to 18. It was at 18 at one point.
Man, USC has dropped a lot. They almost out.
Listen, they just came off a bye week. Prime's gonna fix it. He's gonna fix whatever's going on.
No.
You can't
That's-
fix the talent on
but
your roster, though.
the
They're
thing
playing
is,
against better teams.
Prime is not at least I have not seen.
Bro, he's not an X's and O's
He's
guy.
not an X's and O's
No.
guy.
What makes you think that?
Because
Listen,
look at his
He
losses.
doesn't call plays.
He don't call plays. No,
I never see him
he's not an
drawing up on a
offensive-
board.
He's not an offensive genius, not by any means.
But I
But
don't-
what I'm saying is he is
He's a motivator.
He's a motivational coach.
He's a leader.
He's a leader. He's a great leader of men, but he's not he's not a head coach he's not an Andy Reid. He's not calling plays and drawing up plays.
He's not down by 14 heading into the half.
No, he's got
talking to his team to create a new game plan.
he's got a great staff. He's got former NFL coaches on the staff.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that draw up plays. They're the X's and O's. Prime doesn't. Have you seen him do? Please enlighten me. Have you seen it?
What I'm saying is,
listen to his post game interviews. His post game interviews, he does not even sound like an X's and O's guy.
He said, I don't think he even describes plays.
No, I've never.
no, he does.
Not
Man,
really.
Listen, this is one of the most underrated. One of the most underrated things about Prime is that he is a study machine. Like, he watches film and he dissects film better than most athletes ever.
Okay.
Yeah, as an
Well, here's
athlete,
the
he
thing.
does that though.
Here's the thing, brother. Everybody in that building is watching film.
Yeah, unless you're Johnny Manziel.
There's only a handful of people that's actually putting together the game plan. Now,
And
Prime.
he's part of that game
Now, of
plan.
course,
He
as
puts
the head
together the game
coach,
plan.
he should probably be, hey, we should run here, we should pass here. But I don't know if he's drawing up formations and actually.
I don't think he is.
Listen,
Yeah.
I think, again, when you watch his post-game interviews, he does not sound like a guy that put together a game plan. He sounds like a guy that gave you a motivational speech that led his men to battle, and they won or they lost. He is never
Every
talking about
head coach.
in the second quarter. It's like when you watch LeBron in a post-game interview. I hate to use him as an example, but he can describe a play that happened a minute and 52 seconds into the third quarter.
a lot of athletes can do that.
But
A lot of coaches can do that. Andy Reid does it. Sean McVay does. All the good coaches
They tell you
do
exactly where things went wrong and what they did better. He's literally like, our guys got to play
He's doing that
better.
in post game. Y'all got to watch some more of his
Bro.
post game interviews.
I feel like I should just pull one up right now, honestly, at this point.
And he talks about stuff that happened in certain.
He doesn't even know guys that are on his team. He
That
doesn't
is
even know,
not true.
he doesn't
That
know
is
who
not
his
true.
starting center is.
No, that was not true. He was talking about they named one of the corners that came in.
No,
and
they
he-
named a center.
No. They named a corner. It was a corner that they named, and he forgot the guy came in to play because he didn't think he was going. He was thinking he was playing.
Oh, my
That's what.
goodness.
But it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay.
He is a great motivator of men, and that is a great attribute to have as a head coach. It is.
No, they don't, Coach Prime, man. Every single time. Name a time where Coach Prime has failed.
Oregon.
I'm just saying.
Like,
The
he
guy
failed
can
miserably.
arguably. I said this I think I said this in the last show. He can arguably, if they do his life story, it'd probably be the greatest sports story of all time.
I disagree.
Yeah.
But,
Who else? Who else has done the things that he has done at the level that he's done it at?
the GOAT.
Tom Brady, LeBron
Who?
James.
Everything when it comes to everything athletically, everything that he has done. You're naming football players, right? I'm talking about everything that he has done.
What has he
Put
done,
it on the
though?
baseball field.
But
Go on
yeah,
the baseball
so
field.
he played in the majors just like a ton of other professional athletes
A
could have
ton
done.
of other.
Quite a few could have done it.
Who? This guy played in an NLCS game and then went over and played in a football game in the same 24 hours. Like,
Yes,
that's
that is-
impressive.
That is impressive.
That's very impressive. Nobody has done that since him.
Part of the reason is nobody want to do it.
He was an all-state.
I can almost guarantee that Kyler Murray probably could have done that, but he didn't want to do
Kyler
it.
Murray was like, listen. We seen Kyler Murray is who he was. He was going to be the same way, failure in baseball. Because you want to know why? Because the A's are failures. That's what we got drafted to. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're
They get
failures
kicked out of their
because
city.
he didn't play for them.
Yeah.
No, he was not. He was not going to save that franchise. That franchise is awful.
I mean, Michael Jordan didn't play in the majors.
He was not going to play for them. He was there for tickets.
Yeah, he worked out for him. Speaking of college, there's a list I saw, and Complex put this out. They don't put out the best list because I thought this was football. This is my
I need
first
to be
time taking.
facing the other way.
No, I can read them off to you. You don't need. I mean, you don't need to face anything.
Okay.
Allow the production to do this. But it's the biggest sports stars of the last 20 years, and I don't know if I agree with this list as I'm already taking a look at it. I think they've only got to rank through like the top 15.
Biggest sports stars in the last 20 years?
Yeah, number 14 they got Manti Te'o.
He was pretty
very
dominant.
big.
He was very dominant.
Oh, I would
Obviously,
say
the
was it
girlfriend
dominant?
thing.
He was dominant.
He was
No,
dominant.
what's the list again?
The biggest college sports stars of the last 20
Oh,
years.
college sports stars in the last 20 years. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to say their ability, just like how famous they were. Is that what we're talking about?
But
I'm pretty sure
was his
production
ability. He
plays
like,
a role.
He almost won a Heisman. He was pretty
As
good.
a linebacker,
Yeah,
that's
it's impressive. No, it's impressive.
look, Manti Te'o was dominant.
was
Okay,
good.
there's
He
no
was
ifs, ands, or
good.
buts about
like
it.
he was a top 10 pick.
He
wasn't
was dominant.
No, he wasn't a top 10 pick,
Alright.
but he was a first round pick, wasn't he? Was he?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
I think up until the girlfriend thing, that kind of hurt his draft stock a little bit, but
it was embarrassing.
very. Vince Young, I can agree with that. 13 is kind of low for him, in my opinion, but I'd like to see who's in front of him.
That
Vince
is.
Young's pretty
John
good.
Wall, I would honestly put Vince Young over John Wall personally.
I would put Anthony Davis over John Wall.
Like, I'm just, yes. Because not only was Anthony Davis the first number one pick, wasn't he? Was he the number one pick that year?
He was a one and done.
I think so.
He was one and done.
But a lot
I
of them
believe,
was.
I believe he was a number one pick. If not, he was for sure a top 3
a lot
pick.
of them Kentucky players.
And he went on to win.
So what?
He went on that summer to
How
win
can you
gold
call
with
yourself a
USA.
college star?
Didn't he?
You said what?
Didn't he go on to win gold that year too with the
Yeah.
Team USA?
Yeah. He played
I
in
guess
the Olympics
I
that
guess
summer.
that doesn't count as the college. But I mean, he was
that's-
technically not in the NBA yet.
That's another thing we got to talk. We'll keep on with this, but
So
Flag
I'm
football.
honestly
Flag.
not. So that's what I'm saying. Complex puts out a very controversial list, in my opinion.
well, they want you to talk about it.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, that's kind of low, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
number
you.
11. I got to see who's in the top. We don't know who's in the top
That's
10
kind
yet.
of low.
Okay.
But as of right now, she literally is transcending the
She
the
is
sport of women's
moving the
basketball.
sport.
Did you not see how many people were in attendance at that Iowa
She
game?
is single-handedly moving the sport.
I agree with that.
Angel Reese, number 10. I'm honestly putting Caitlin Clark over Angel Reese.
And
Caitlin Clark is a better
Listen.
athlete and a better
Listen.
basketball player. I'm going to
Listen.
put that out there right now
Listen.
on wax.
Can I
Angel
say
Reese
this?
is more of a figure.
The black community gonna come after you.
That's fine. But
I don't.
on paper,
I don't
Caitlin
understand
Clark
this
is better
at
than
all.
Angel Reese.
Listen,
I don't understand.
Maybe they
this
want us
at
to
all.
talk about it. I don't know.
WNBA is waiting for those women, those two women. To
Oh,
come
absolutely.
to get out
Most
of college.
definitely.
But they ain't in no hurry.
But
They ain't no-
WNBA,
they are in no
is
hurry.
WNBA is
They're making a way.
They getting pushed too.
They are getting a lot of push.
They getting pushed too. I like it.
They're getting scrappy. I'd love to see it. Number 9, Lamar Jackson. That might.
Okay.
Again,
I don't even think. I
I don't-
wouldn't even say
I'm
Lamar
not-
Jackson was better than Vince Young in college at the time.
No, Vince Young was the hottest.
Vince
thing.
Young, man, at that you was yo.
No, I
was young.
I was in high school. What do you mean I was young?
I
I'm
know.
saying I was in college.
I'm not too upset at this. This is a Heisman winner. Okay.
That's true.
I'm not.
I think you got to
I'm
look
not
at where
too
he
upset
played
this.
at though too.
This
though.
this is also Louisville versus Texas.
Yeah.
So and
Number 8, Cam Newton.
that's kind of low to me. Okay. All right. We gotta keep rolling though.
That's about. Keep going.
This last 20 years.
though. Okay,
He's
so
a
yeah.
He's a 3-time national champion. 3-time national champion. That's pretty low in my opinion.
He's not a dude. He was on the Florida Gators.
Okay, he won a
Wait,
JUCO
and
national
a
title.
JUCO national
That don't count?
Come on, bro.
I was
That is
at
like,
that JUCO game.
That don't count.
No, tell us true story, Gary.
I was
Where was
at-
you standing at?
I was
on
at.
the opposing.
I said I was at the game.
Listen. No.
I was at.
No.
the-
Tell a true story. Your team lost. Your team got their ass kicked.
No, we
'cause
didn't.
your punter-
No, we didn't get our ass kicked. Okay, we lost on the last play of the game.
Tell them what happened that last play of the game.
Punter should have kicked the ball out of
He
bounds.
was supposed to kick the ball out of bounds.
He kicked the ball about 2 yards inbounds,
to the fastest player on the field.
and he took it to the house, and thus became. And then Cam Newton got an offer from Auburn and won a national title, and then he got drafted and
Gary should
run Rookie of the Year, and then
MVP.
If it wasn't
Yeah.
for that,
In
if
the
it wasn't,
Super Bowl?
if it wasn't for that punter, Gary would have been Cam Newton. All because of that punter. There's the saltiness coming
that
out.
punter changed the whole trajectory of my life.
So
And Cam Newton's.
So number eight, we got Cameron Newton. That might be kind of low for him, but he was Cam Newton. I guess as far as a college star goes, he wasn't necessarily.
I think that's about right.
He was the most dominant quarterback that year, but he wasn't he wasn't a star. He wasn't a Tim Tebow or a Johnny Manziel.
Nah, he was a star.
Joe Burrow. I'm honestly probably putting Cam Newton over Joe Burrow.
I'm putting Cam Newton.
Same.
I'm-
Same.
I'm putting
Like Joe
Cam-
Burrow had
and LSU Nation.
elite talent.
Same.
Joe
LSU
Burrow
Nation.
had an elite defense,
up.
an elite offensive line, and he literally was throwing the ball to two of the greatest college receivers of the last 10 years.
And I mean, I know.
I can't
know
even name
EH.
who was Cam Newton throwing the ball to. I really don't remember. That's a good question. He wasn't throwing it to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
That's something you have to type up.
Yeah,
I know. I know. CEH is not who he is right now.
He was the most dominant SEC back though.
But he was
LSU.
at that time. He was a dog.
Yeah,
He
for
was a
sure.
dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not putting Joey B up
Yeah.
there. That's why again, Complex be on some bullshit.
Yeah. Randy Moss's son too.
Jimmer Fredette.
Hey,
Oh my
Is-
god.
he was a straight
Jimmer?
baller.
Before he was a
He
Steph
was a
Curry
straight
before
baller.
Steph Curry.
He was a baller.
I don't think I'm putting him in my top 10 though of most dominant college stars of the last 20
No.
years.
I wouldn't either.
I have a feeling this list is going to piss me off because I scrolled through it and I saw something, didn't read it, but I have a feeling it's going to piss me off. He dropped 34 points to beat Gonzaga. Tim Tebow, number 5, that's pretty low in my opinion, especially after watching the Untold Gator story.
Oh.
That's pretty low in my opinion.
Uh,
To be at number
Tim
1
Tebow
wait a second.
was more of a star
Than a football player.
than anybody else so far on this list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tim Tebow was like, even like people who don't watch football,
Tim Tebow literally.
people who don't watch football knew who Tim Tebow was.
Tim Tebow had to
when
start
T-
taking online classes before they even existed. I didn't even know online classes.
Here's
were
a
thing back
question
then.
for y'all in the audience, because we already know who's about to come up.
Yeah,
here.
because we're filming.
we know
live-
who's we know
live.
we know who's about to.
I have no clue.
We know who's about to come up.
I mean, we know one of the names for sure.
Johnny Manziel's going to come up in this list for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
When you talk about star, we're not talking about athletic ability. We're talking about stardom. At
Yes.
the time that they was in college,
Yes.
I ventured. I think Johnny Manziel was a bigger
I would agree.
star.
But I said so far on this list, he's
Yeah.
more of a
Okay.
star than
Johnny
anybody
Manziel
else.
was a bigger star, but I think people tend to forget because what was it? Probably a 6-year, 7-year gap between Johnny Manziel and Tim
Probably.
Tebow. Probably.
was it that much?
I think
Might not have
Manziel
been
got
that.
drafted in like 2012. I think maybe 2013.
Might
Tim
have been somewhere
Tebow.
around there. Yeah,
Tim Tebow won his last title in like 08. So
I think it was 7, 08. Yeah.
like Tebow was like that football team revolved around Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow also was if you watch that Untold, man, I'm talking he's in the locker room with some dogs, like some straight up dogs from like Louisiana. They cuss every other sentence,
agree.
and literally he don't say a single cuss word.
Percy Harvin
doesn't
bro.
drink.
Percy Harvin was the best athlete in college football.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And he was throwing the ball to him, and he was hurt in
yeah.
the national championship game. So Tim Tebow.
I didn't know. I didn't know
5.
Percy Harvin. Speaking of, sorry, did you? I didn't. I guess he dealt with major migraines most of his career.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I
Yes.
didn't know that's
Yeah.
where one of the reasons why
Yes.
he kind of had a shorter career too
Uh-huh.
was major migraines.
Oh, Zion. I don't know if I'm putting Zion over Tim Tebow. I'm gonna
That's
be
my
honest with you.
guy.
I'm gonna
That's
be
my
honest with you.
guy.
Zion was a dog though.
That's my
It's-
guy.
Wait. Zion was a dog, but Zion also benefited from the social media era. Nobody knew who Tim Tebow was till he got to college. Everybody knew who Zion was when he was in the 8th grade.
I take that back.
Like, they knew who he
did
was in
know,
the 8th
I
grade.
did know Tim Tebow because I
Like-
remember we. First of all, he's my birthday twin. I hate to admit that, but it's true.
Why you hate to admit
I
that?
hate to admit that.
but
Tim
you brought-
Tebow was a
I
great
don't-
guy.
I hate Tim Tebow.
He hates to admit it, but he just brought it up.
But no, I'm saying I knew about him. I remember when my senior year in high school, because when you're a football player, you hear about other stuff, and we heard about this guy that was like tearing it up, like the best high school quarterback in the nation. And later, I mean, I just kind of
Again,
remember, but it was I knew it was Tim
you
Tebow.
heard about Tim Tebow your senior year of high school. Zion was literally on hoop mixtapes as a middle schooler.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like if you want, we're talking about a college
But,
star. His stardom came before he even made it to college. It's almost like not a fair comparison.
Well, wait. Did you already look at this list?
No, I have not. I
think I
scrolled
know-
through it, but I
I
didn't.
think I know who's gonna be on this list.
I don't know who the
No,
top 3 are gonna
college
be.
star. Okay, nope. Because I was when you said that, made
I
me
mean,
think of somebody else. He's not gonna be on this
If
list.
you're gonna tell me
but-
the top, I think if I'm guessing, the next top 3 are gonna be Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel. I don't know who the other one will be.
No. What I was gonna say.
that would
I don't-
be
When you
I
talk
don't have
about
two of
no,
the
when you
three.
talk about mixtapes and being in the limelight, no, I don't think nobody was bigger. And this was really before social media was a big thing. It was LeBron. Everybody knew who the fucking LeBron
Well, yeah,
was
because he was
before-
gonna be the number 1 overall draft pick in the NBA. So
Well, LeBron
everybody in the
did-
world would know who LeBron was.
LeBron didn't go to college though.
Yeah, no, he didn't go to college. But that's why I was like, yo, he ain't gonna be out here. What he was gonna go to Ohio, right? Ohio State, I mean.
I think
He's gonna
so.
go
That's
Ohio
his
State?
favorite team. I don't know if he's gonna
Yeah.
go. He was recruited by them for football. I'm pretty sure, actually.
Yeah, he says that he was gonna go there. I think he said that. I don't know.
Well, that's where Bryce might go. I think Bryce just got an offer from Ohio State.
Oh, maybe.
Number 3. Let's see. We got number 3. All right, like this
is
is
it?
what's gonna piss me off right here.
What,
I knew I
Hey,
knew I saw something
say
that was
it.
gonna piss me off.
The
They have
coach.
Deion Sanders.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes. Listen,
That doesn't make sense.
That makes zero
what's
sense.
what's the title of this thing?
He's literally been at college for less than a year. He's been coaching
Do you know?
for 4
do you know-
weeks.
do you know what the revenue?
He-
Over $18 million.
Okay, well,
has
here's the
came
thing.
into Boulder, Colorado.
Do you
Here's
know
the
how much
thing.
revenue came in when Tim Tebow was at Florida?
No, I don't.
Do you know how much revenue came in when Johnny Manziel?
No, I don't.
Johnny
No,
Manziel,
no, but I know. I can
Johnny
tell you right
Manziel
now.
brought in over $500 million in revenue.
Bro, Johnny
Hey,
Manziel is part of the reason
listen.
why these motherfuckers getting paid now.
No. You're talking about for the school. That's what you're talking about.
They
You're talking
didn't, they didn't have a choice then.
No, you're talking about for the
They
school.
didn't have a choice.
Stop. You're talking about for the school. I'm talking about just businesses.
You don't think
Stop,
businesses didn't
stop.
bring in that much money for Johnny Manziel?
100%. I guarantee they brought in a little bit, but
A little
dude, this dude, I'm talking about just the businesses alone have brought. They haven't sold out games in over a decade. He has sold out every
Okay.
home game this year.
Texas Tech didn't sell out games.
Yeah, so, dude, this dude has been
Hey.
crazy for Colorado
That's
right
okay,
But that's such an
Like,
unfair.
come on.
in my opinion, if he wanted to make this list, he should have did that shit in the 80s in Florida State.
Yeah.
now.
But
Yeah, Florida
not
State
this.
was good back then. They were the
Okay,
only team to
they
play
was.
with Miami at that time.
They was, boy. He should have been bringing in money as a player.
He did bring in money.
No,
He brought
not Johnny Manziel money.
No.
He's bringing in bigger money right now, just off of merchandise.
This
Oh,
is
bro.
stupid.
he is
Just
not.
merchant-
I'd be willing to guarantee.
Hey,
I'm
no,
willing- hey, no.
If this
No,
takes
no.
Reggie Bush off the list, I'm gonna be pissed.
It ain't gonna take Reggie Bush off.
No.
But I'm willing to take that bet right now, and we're gonna look up numbers. I guarantee you are gonna be shocked on the revenue money that is brought in to Boulder and just Colorado football, in general.
I get that, but in 1 year, Johnny Manziel grew their revenue was like $130 or $230 million to like $750 million in 1 year.
I guarantee
That's
you.
one player.
I guarantee you, Coach Prime has done more.
Go ahead, let's keep moving.
I guarantee you.
But this is also.
I'm willing to bet right now.
this is
I'm willing to take
also-
this bet right
this
now.
is,
Whatever the number is for Johnny Manziel.
So in one
Coach
year,
Prime,
1 year time span.
Coach Prime has done more.
Okay, I'll take that bet.
I'm 100% gonna bet that.
I'll take that bet. I will take that. I will absolutely.
We're gonna
take
take that bet.
We're
We're gonna do
also
another crown
We're
apple.
also comparing. We're also comparing a 19-year-old to a 50, almost 60-something-year-old man,
Hall of
Yes.
Famer.
Hall of Famer.
That's not even
Like-
playing no more.
Like
All he doing is just trying to coach. That's all he trying to do.
number 2, Reggie Bush.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right.
Now here's the thing about Reggie Bush.
Number 1, Johnny Manziel.
I figured Johnny Manziel. Here's the thing about Reggie Bush.
He got screwed the most.
Reggie Bush was the reason why I started thinking college athletes should get paid. Now I didn't at the time. I was in college and I did a paper about it, and we had to like do a little speech about our paper at the time. I did not think about NIL deals, of course, and all that stuff, but that's a whole nother thing. But at the time I did research because I was like, man, I was a college athlete at the time too, and I found out that it was number 5 jersey that he was wearing. The number 5 jersey, the school. Now I don't know what the overall revenue of it was or the numbers was, but the school made $11 million just off the number 5 jersey.
Yep.
And at that time, this was like 2008, 2000, whatever it was, he didn't make a dime from that $11 million.
There's a whole interview that I don't know if I sent it to you guys. DeMarcus Cousins,
Oh, I think I've seen it though.
yeah, said about his time in Kentucky and how like they went over for some tournament and it was like in like Mexico, and it was people walking around with his jersey on,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and like a
What
guy had a stand selling his jersey. I don't know if you can pull up that video, but a guy had a stand selling his jersey and was making money off of it, but he
crazy.
couldn't make money off of it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just these dudes, these guys with the NIL deals, they never gonna know what it was like.
No.
Now,
Well, also with that, it's like there's always been the argument.
Yeah,
This might be the video, but where it's like you're getting an education for free, and it's like, but even if Johnny Manziel paid out of pocket to go to Texas Tech, or Reggie Bush paid out of pocket to go to USC, the amount of revenue they brought in is worth sending 1,000 kids on full ride scholarships. That's the problem. Where it's like you're deliberately making revenue off of kids, and they're not able to reap the rewards of that. That, and like, there's even a congressman right now that's still talking about it, like you're getting a free education. But it's like, motherfucker, like I'm about to go make millions of dollars in 3 years, anyways. But you like kids are wearing my jerseys, literally in the Untold Florida with Tim Tebow. They're before games, they're signing autographs. Imagine having Tim Tebow's autograph.
Yeah.
At that time, or on especially on a specific type of merchandise, like an actual jersey or a game worn jersey, something like that. That's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he can't sell that. He can't get paid on that. That's why I loved when I watched the Untold on Johnny Manziel. He was like, "Hey, bro, fuck it. We was getting paid.
Yeah.
Like we were making money."
Yeah.
And the craziest thing about the Johnny Manziel story, because his friend took the fall, but the craziest thing that still is a rumor alive today is that his family came from money.
Yeah.
And honestly, up until I watched the documentary, I just always thought Johnny Manziel was a rich kid. And I mean, they were probably upper middle class. You know, they probably lived really well. But like I always assumed like he came from like oil, big time money. That was all a lie.
Yeah.
Just to get away with him flying on private jets and being with Drake and all these other guys. But it's like when you're making it, like these guys are the reason behind enrollment. They're the reason why. Like if KU wasn't good at basketball, I guarantee enrollment would drop. If KU got rid of their basketball program, enrollment would drop by 30%, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be
30% might be a big number, but at least 15 to 20%. A lot of people go
I can
to
see
these.
that.
A lot of
Yeah,
people go
I
to these
can see
schools
that.
for what they offer and what they bring, and sports bring in the most revenue.
Yeah.
When I went to the KU basketball camp in high school, literally when you walk into their athletic facility, there's this. I'm talking the door is like 20 feet wide, and it says men's basketball locker room, and then the size of that closet right there, nobody can see it, or even where Gary's at. Half of this door was the women's softball entrance. Like, bro, it was like crazy. Like it was crazy.
It's a big thing too. Like you ever watch the 30 for 30 when about Miami, about how they how they won a national championship, and then they got then the next year they're building this big huge math and science building and all this stuff, and it's just like winning those big bowl games and all that stuff, it brings in a lot of money.
Are we able to hear this?
At one point, the Miami football, Miami Hurricanes team was the biggest sports team in South Florida. They were bigger than the Marlins.
Yeah.
They were bigger than the Dolphins. Like they were in the early 2000s. They were the biggest show on turf. I don't even know if they played on turf back then.
The late 80s, bro.
I'm sure what DeMarcus Cousins had to say.
We can use examples. Guys like a Tyler Hansborough, who was, a college legend.
Yep.
I think that type of guy would benefit from that greatly because once he gets to this other side, like the NBA, it's not the same thing.
It's short, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a guy like that benefits. But then you have a John Wall. Why the fuck would you stay 4 years?
He got to go league. He got to go to the league.
So I think it's a great option, and I'm happy about it because, one, even the guys that aren't as talented that can go to that next level, they still went through that same grind and sacrifice.
Right.
Them motherfucking feet was hurting just like the next guys.
Facts. But does it help? But does it save college? It saves college?
Oh, college, man. That shit,
I'm
man.
just watching college
At this
news.
point, colleges, they're giving their reparations, man. At this point, they've robbed us enough. Let's just keep it a buck. These ain't nothing but reparations, bro.
It's bad.
Man, that shit's sick.
Talent pool
When you
bad
really
right
talk
now.
about it, when you really sit there and dig deep into the shit that they had going on in college and how they treated these athletes, that shit's sick. These ain't nothing but reparations, man. I don't give a fuck about that college.
Payback for some
I
others.
watched how many people, man, I was at Kentucky, and this is no knock to Kentucky, because this is just the time we was in. Man, we having tournaments in fucking Cancun, Mexico. And there's 3,000 people with a Cousins in Kentucky shirt. But the vendor outside, he just made 60 bands with my name. But I get in trouble for a free meal?
Facts.
Come on, bro.
Or a drink or anything.
Like what?
Anything.
This nigga just made 60 bands off my name. And I can't get a free meal?
That's crazy.
It's reparations.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, the crazy part about it is that the NCAA is a multi-billion-dollar organization.
Oh yeah.
The amount of money that Big 12, just the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City does, that tournament probably does hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, if not more. Merchandise sales just from the local economy, like Power and Light. I guarantee those numbers are fucking nuts.
Listen,
So I'm glad it's working out for guys.
you know who needs to get paid more? These goddamn referees.
Speaking of pay, before you go on your tangent, do you know how much money the chain crew makes at an NFL game?
How much?
But what do you think? Do you think they get paid well, or do you think they not get paid at all?
$100.
I think they get paid well enough to move chains up and down the field. Maybe.
The average is $75 a game.
Yeah, I can see that. Honestly,
I mean, that's not enough money for me, bro. An
What-
NFL game is like 4 hours of your time. To make 75, I guess to be on the fucking sideline all day, but $75 for 4 hours of my time.
I mean, that's more. That's better than
I mean, what are you
I guess,
doing?
yeah, I guess.
What are you doing? You're not doing the hard physical labor.
I mean, you're holding the chains.
You are holding the chain.
Can't enjoy the game.
You can enjoy. You got the best seat in
You
the
can
house.
only
Actually,
enjoy the game when it's goal line. When you put the chains down.
No, even when you're holding the chain, you got the best seat in the house.
I mean,
You have the best seat in the house. You are on the sideline.
depends. You're on the
can
opposing
see,
sideline.
You can hear everything. You can see everything.
And the sideline ref he just seems rude every time. It's
Hey,
come
you
on,
gotta
man.
keep it moving, keep it moving. Hey, we got a game to do. All right, speaking of referees, Brandon's got a bone to pick with referees, mostly
Pick your
because
bone,
Colts
Brandon,
are
pick your
not
bone.
very
first thing I gotta
good.
talk about. It won't be the Colts. Save that one.
Okay.
Okay.
First thing, I think there's some sort of correlation between the sports betting that we have right now and the bad refereeing that we have right now in our nation.
Can you elaborate on that?
Let's look at Iowa. What happened there?
What happened there?
Did y'all see that game
I did not.
last weekend? The fair catch, not fair catch?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes,
that was
In the blue
that
hell,
was terrible.
calling a fair catch and running with it is a penalty. Where was the penalty? They
There
just
was no
said,
penalty.
nah, he didn't. He called a fair catch. We're just gonna call it back. That's not even. You can't even do that. Like, what the fuck
He
happened?
did wave his arms though, but
He
he
didn't
didn't
wave
wave
his
his
arm.
I
No.
thought he waved his arm like that.
That means
poison.
nothing.
Well,
That
I know,
means
I know,
nothing.
well, I know that, but I thought he
That
did.
means nothing.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to give the ref the benefit of the doubt that I
There
thought he
is
did
no-
move his arms and some.
And in
The
football,
ref got benefit.
I think
he
in a
got
lot.
a benefit.
I think in a lot of football terms, that's like it means poison. Like that's what we used to say back when I played football. It was. I think
Yeah,
some people say Peter.
Yeah, yeah.
And that means telling everybody to
Get
get
away
away,
from the
from the ball. Get away from the ball. That's all he was doing.
Trying to pull up the video, but I don't know if it's gonna pull
Check this
up.
out. Look at this. Look at
Yeah,
this.
keep talking about it. We have a little ad going.
Turn around. And,
We're new to the production, folks.
we're doing new production.
We're trying to figure this out.
And
All right,
don't let this part go
So
viral.
what's the
because I
other
think we can get
example?
charged.
Did they not cover the spread? Is that what happened in that game?
God damn, this is a long ass ad. Anyway, sorry.
Anytime you go to ESPN,
No.
I don't remember
I'm
what
just
the spread
looking
was or
from
anything. But
the Iowa.
I'm just saying, is that bad
the
officiating, or did that affect bets?
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sure
it probably
affected
affect
the
bets.
bet.
I'm
Yeah.
guarantee
here's the
it
video.
affected bets. Look at this guy. This guy, they're down. They can't get a yard. Y'all see it's 10 to 12. Running his like this is an amazing.
Well, for starters, so
play.
let me go back.
Go back.
Even
Go.
as a referee, it's very obvious that the other team's
He's
trying
just
to
running.
The other team's trying to tackle him as soon as he gets the ball.
Yes.
So what is going on here?
Nobody even. The only thing that people thought might have happened was that he stepped out of bounds.
That's
Yeah.
what I
That's the
initially
only.
thought it was.
That's the only thing people thought might have even happened.
Yes.
I think they had like 10 yards of offense in the second half, so they weren't going to do nothing offensively.
The one thing that, and speaking of refereeing, that always blows my mind is like, you got the side judge, you got one in the backfield, and you got one, and on the defensive side of the football. And I'm like, how are you able to see this from 30 yards away, but this guy
Yeah.
standing 5 feet from the plate didn't notice it? Like, what is going? That's where I be
understand.
like wondering, like, okay, what's really going on here?
I don't get it.
All
I don't
right.
get it.
to-
And then
but to Braden's point,
That was a bad call.
I don't know if you guys have paid much attention to this in the past. It's NBA.
okay,
There was a referee named Eric Lewis. Okay.
is that the referee that did the documentary on?
No.
Okay.
No. This
No,
this
no,
is
he was dirty.
this
I actually
is
just started watching that.
this is recent. As in like it just got settled this year.
Yeah.
He came out, he's a big Boston Celtics fan.
Okay.
Okay, that's
And
fair.
as a referee, you can't be like,
Yeah. You gotta be
you gotta be,
non-biased.
yeah, right.
You can be a fan though. I mean, everybody's gonna be
No,
a fan.
this guy and his family were fans.
got
not-
the whole basement decked out in Celtic green.
So in Eric, there's been a whole research done on this thing about Eric Lewis, and there's this guy on Twitter who brought it to light.
Okay.
And they're trying to make it a short story. He went on a podcast and explaining everything. And I remember when it was happening on Twitter.
Like Eric Lewis got on the podcast and talked about it?
No, the guy who brought it out to light. And he got on Twitter and was just talking about NBA, talking about the officiating and stuff. And then there's this one Twitter account who always chimes in, having Eric Lewis back.
Oh, like Eric Lewis burner, like Kevin Durant burner account?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did more digging. Turns out like this is Eric Lewis. This is Eric Lewis replying to this, and you go to his Twitter account, and it's all it's all about like so like not many people follow NBA official referee Twitter account, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Official referee. That Twitter account was following it.
Yeah.
That Twitter account had prior replies about Eric Lewis and stuff, so it was pretty obvious. And this was at the time where things didn't really start to become noticeable or change until all these states started doing online sports betting, started allowing online sports betting.
That makes sense.
And then so you see like the games where he reffed the Celtics. Now the Celtics been pretty good for like the past 5 years or so, right?
I mean they had a couple bad years. For the last
they've
decade
been really good. But the games he ref, I mean, like it went from like maybe like 60% to like 85% win. Like it was.
Is he still reffing?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
he got
canned.
He got suspended and it was under investigation. This past spring, summer, he retired. So investigation closed.
Yeah, I will say NBA is a little different because that's really hard to manage. It's such a fast-paced game. There's a lot of calls. A lot of things go unmissed. But in the NFL, the only way that I see fixing things, like you have to be able to review calls. Like you have, like just like a coach can challenge something, you should be able to challenge a call. Like the New York game, like I understand that it is really hard to make a decision when you're watching it live and it's fast-paced and everybody, millions of fans watching from every camera angle can do that. But like you'll even see like that. Oh, we're gonna go back to New York. Like, bro, there's a whole facility of referees apparently that watch the fucking games.
Yeah.
So it's like
But
somebody should be chiming in and be like, hey, you should make that call.
We had a season where we were able to challenge pass interference calls.
And it got ridiculous.
And it was terrible.
It was
It was terrible.
Now,
But like within the last 2 minutes of a game, like the NFL has to do something because a lot of these calls have been really bad,
and they're happening late in games.
Yes.
It's just like
like
I'm a Colts fan. Y'all know that.
yeah, we can see that.
You were at the Chiefs game live and in person, so you didn't see this. You saw this. I saw this because it happened right before the Chiefs game. The last
Can I look it up?
drive. Just look up Colts. Who we play? Colts, Browns, end of drive. I don't know what you're gonna call it. It was the last drive of the game. The last two calls were just ridiculous.
Browns, is it the final touchdown drive? Kareem Hunt touchdown.
Final touchdown drive. Or wait, what is that? Is that gonna be it?
Just keep explaining it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Gary, tell me what was it? Gary tries to hate on the Colts.
No,
You cannot deny that those two calls were utterly
What were the calls?
ridiculous.
I'll tell you what's
But
one of the most.
we're seeing it every week.
Slideshow?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Next time we gotta be a little bit more prepared. What I'm seeing every week,
First one. You'll be all right.
some of the worst calls I'm seeing so far in the league that I really dislike are the roughing the passer and the PIs. The missed PIs, and they're getting very excessive on the roughing the passer call.
Bro,
Like it is getting to a point where it's like, bro, come on, man. I'm 350.
He needs to see
I'm
this,
300. I'm 350 pounds, and I'm trying to stop. Like I'm gonna hit this guy.
bro. This PI, not PI call. I don't know. You gotta get Roadrunner.
I don't think they still make. I don't think they still make that.
Go YouTube. What are you searching on? Bingo? Or is it Bigo? Bigo? What is it?
I think it's just Bing.
This is Ash Jeeves. This is Ash Jeeves. Remember Ash Jeeves?
Yahoo? You searched on Yahoo?
All right, man. Keep going, man.
Dude, we are in the final drive. We get a ticky-tack. I'm talking, remember how he was back in the Super Bowl? That everybody was complaining about the Chiefs, but the ticky-tack play that happened in the Super Bowl? This was more ticky-tack than that. The freaking wide receiver beats the corner. The corner falls on the ground.
Yeah.
He beats the corner.
I
still call it.
honestly, I mean, this might sound controversial, but I don't like PIs on very clearly uncatchable balls. Like,
Oh, my
like
God.
the ball was
Gary,
All right,
he
I'm
needs to see
watching. I'm watching. Oh,
that's a strip sack.
okay. And they
Strip
called
sack,
they called
recovery.
flag.
But watch
They
what
called
happens.
flag.
Look at
Pass
this.
interference on the defense.
This is ridiculous.
I can read lips pretty well.
Look at this.
This is Amari Cooper.
Yep. He beats him. That's the pass
that's-
interference.
That's crazy.
And then this one right here.
I understand he
This
came
is
in
the
a
catchable ball, right?
I know.
It goes into the first. It goes to the fucking first row. Sorry, I'm yelling. It goes into the who? How can you call a play a catchable ball? Literally, this dude went home with a souvenir, and you calling this a catchable ball? Like that makes no sense to me. Like that, I'm baffled right now.
We have to pull this up and get people's opinions on this. I think everybody should be in favor of the Colts here, but
You should be. I don't care if you're a Colts hater or not.
yeah, those are some of the. But again, the PIs, the holds, and I mean, but the problem is that receivers do a lot as well to engage in contact. So it's like I understand if you're not turned around looking at the ball, obviously that's a PI. But there's certain instances where I'll watch games and be like, all right, man, come on, like let these guys play.
That I
Let
will
these guys
say
play.
that is one thing that's another NFL rule for
That
me.
doesn't make
that's,
sense. Like if
that's
you're not
never,
turned around,
yeah, that's never
Like-
set right with me.
like
Like it does. Why do you? What you can't
I
face
think-
guard? Are you
I
serious?
think the idea
makes
is
no
that
sense.
I think the idea is that if you are not turned around, you clearly cannot make a play on the ball to make contact. That's just how I visualize it.
that makes that again.
That's
that
just how I
makes,
visualize
if I'm not, pass interference the receiver. If I'm not touching the receiver,
Yeah.
you mean to tell me I can't face him?
I think PI is probably one of the most complex calls in the NFL because it's so inconsistent.
They make
on
it
what is,
complex.
on what is considered PI. It's like, bro, it's like, all right, if you alleviate the receiver from catching the ball by like grabbing his body, grabbing his jersey, so be it. Like even in the Super Bowl, like unfortunately that was a ticky tacky call, but he grabbed his jersey. He's very clearly holding the jersey. That's a PI. That's holding at the very least.
He
Defensive
didn't
holding.
even, right here, he didn't even grab a jersey.
Well, on the
He
first
fell
one,
on the fucking
on
ground.
the first one, I don't know what that was. Yeah,
he
Like,
fell on the ground.
He obviously could have very clearly actually got a touchdown had Deshaun Watson. Who was playing? Deshaun Watson.
Nah,
was playing.
Deshaun Watson was out.
Watson was out.
It was their third string, I think.
The
actually.
Colts played a really good game.
I
against
think
the
Deshaun
Cleveland
Watson's
defense.
career might be coming. Like,
Bro,
at
they
least
talking about.
this season,
First of all,
but,
let's talk about that too.
It's circling.
Do you
They
see
were
what-
using words like historic for that defense. They went into Indianapolis, and Indianapolis put up 38 on them boys.
You see what happens?
Historic defense, my ass.
You see what
Eh,
happens?
it happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
it's just like I
The
don't-
Browns probably do have the best defense in the league right now.
I don't think so. I
I
think
think
they
they
got
got-
exposed
I mean, every team,
by
every
a
dog has
backup
its
quarterback.
it-
I mean, don't get me wrong. 2 dogs at running back. Don't get me wrong.
I just think
2 dogs.
I
at
just
running
think
back.
who the Colts got 2 dogs at running back.
Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor.
Man, it's crazy how they got 2 dogs. It was just one guy now. They should have paid that boy,
Oh,
honestly.
right.
The
Right.
one thing I hate about everybody saying
Split the ticket.
you
He got
you
paid.
lost, but you got to
He
realize
got paid. Now he's
these
a dog.
these guys are professional athletes at the very least. They are the best in the world at what they do. So
Yeah.
it's like on any given Sunday, anything is possible.
Of course.
So it's like hard to be like, oh, they lost to a team, but 38, put up 38 points on them. But it's like they're professional athletes. Just like Brian Scalabrine said, I'm closer to Michael Jordan than you are to me. And that is the honest to God truth. Like my ability is closer to being greatness than you are to being able to fucking hold my jock strap. That might be one of the best sports quotes I've ever heard, honestly. He just said Michael Jordan or LeBron James, but that was a great one. Yeah, I mean, I think officiating's been very poor this year. Obviously, I think it's really hard to be an NFL official as well. I mean,
They need to be full-time.
You have to pay attention. They're not full-time employees.
They're
They're paid by the game.
They don't have the benefits. They ain't got nothing.
They get
But
paid.
they
Get paid fairly
They
well.
do give. I think it's like 10 or 12.
They make
$6,000 a game or something like that.
They make well into six figures. I think the number
They're
one.
over- they're over
at the end
100
of the year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
But I think it's like 10 to 12,000 a game or something like that. I believe it is. I know at one point it was 10,000 a game. So that was years ago when I looked it up. So it's more than that now.
I don't know what it is per game. I didn't even know there was a per game thing.
No, I don't.
But I know
I don't think it is. I think they just break it up how much it is per game.
About $205,000 a year.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's really good money for 17 weeks out of the year.
It's crazy.
You could literally have another full-time job and
That's what they do.
and make
they
some
got fucking lawyers and shit.
like,
Being referees.
like
I was watching. I was at a bar and they were replaying the Broncos Green Bay Super Bowl. Where is that? Like 97, 98, something like that. And saw old ripped young Hockley.
Stay off.
that's the wrong one. What's the new one I got?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
He's just been waiting to play that this whole time. He been waiting to play that this whole time. You saw young Hockley on there, man.
Yeah.
Young Hockley, man. He was small. He wasn't built. He wasn't buff. He was skinny.
I only know Buff Ed Hockley.
That's all. But at that time, you probably wouldn't even notice who he was. But they put his name on there. I was like, oh shit, is Ed Hockley?
All right, I pulled this up earlier because it was some of the craziest NFL stats, and maybe we could take a look at them. And what do you think is either A, the craziest, or B, will never be done again?
I told you.
Jerome
I told
Bettis
you A and B already.
Yeah, Jerome Bettis having 5 rushes for 1 yard and 3 touchdowns. That's literally never going to be done again. That in itself almost doesn't even sound possible. Because where's the ball at? How do you have 1 yard if you're not on the one?
Well, you gotta get tackled for loss.
Well, yeah, that's
He
true.
got
That's
tackled
true.
for loss, and he probably was on the 1 yard line when he rushed those touchdowns. It's the only way I can imagine he would do
So
it.
he probably got 3 yards and then probably got
Yeah.
tackled in the backfield for
This stat is almost hard for me to
What
read.
is this? Tim
Tebow completing 2 passes in total.
Oh,
and
I remember
still
watching this game.
winning the game.
Yes, I remember watching this game. I literally remember watching this game.
I watched it as well.
Yeah, I watched it live, and I was like, "This is
That's
fuck,
insane.
This is incredible."
Not incredible.
It was.
Not incredible.
They were running the wishbone and
This is
wildcat.
this is a pretty interesting stat. Leonard Fournette, 15 attempts for 66 yards, and his longest attempt is 69 yards.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's a wild stat. Talk about tackle for loss.
yeah, right.
He had a 69
He had a
yard
69-yard run and finished the day with 66 yards.
That means on 14 of his carries
He lost yards.
were, or he might have lost yards on one big run, and then so it just depends.
All right. Oh, did you get? There's another one I do want to talk about. There's another one we'll talk about. No receiver has ever won MVP, but a kicker has once. I did not know that stat.
I did know that.
did not
know that.
I did know
Speaking
that.
of receivers
Yes.
winning MVP, Tyreek Hill, if he breaks 2,000 yards, there should be no reason why he does not win the MVP.
There was some
there will be a
questionable.
reason why.
There were some questionable marks this week, but he practiced today, so
like,
good to go. He's not going to get 2,000 or win MVP if he misses a game.
oh no, not at
So
all.
he has to play.
He's
every
got to
game.
get, I think, another 100. It's like 105 a game going
No
forward.
receiver. He will be Offensive Player of the Year. No receiver will win MVP.
Tyreek Hill is the greatest weapon in the
But I'm
last.
telling you what you have to
20
do to
years.
do it. You need.
You have to play a full season.
You need 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns, and you
20
need
plus touchdowns.
and you need a non.
Megatron was basically right under that. He had 14 touchdowns and 1,900 some yards?
He had 5 touchdowns.
No, that's when he had 1,800 yards. That's when he had 5
No, he
touchdowns.
had
Look at the
he
stats.
had
Look at Megatron.
he had 1,960 something yards.
Yeah, he
and
did.
5
He had 19
touchdowns.
The Chargers special team was once so bad in 2010 that they missed the postseason, even though they were the number 1 offense and defense that year. That's crazy. Mike Evans having 2 catches for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty crazy stat. Randy Moss.
That's the one we see all the time.
That's
How about this one? I'm gonna look up the other person.
Oh,
that
but
had
did you guys see the video I sent about NFL? Because they're talking about, obviously the NFL's talking about getting rid of the the 3rd and 1 or the 4th and 1 for the Eagles. I forget what they call it.
the tush push.
Yeah. And so this guy on Twitter did this whole thread of NFL rules that are no longer allowed.
Uh-huh.
And there was one on there. Did you know at one point in time that you could stand in the end zone and try to block a field goal? So as in, if it's like a 50-yard field goal, you could put your tallest player out on the field, and he can jump up and swat the ball away. That was allowed at one point in the NFL.
Oh, you mean
The
like
Chiefs-
at the goalpost?
Like at the goalpost.
I think
The
it still
Chiefs had
should
a
be.
the
This
Chiefs,
must have been like
the
when the
Chiefs had a-
goalpost was in the front.
the Chiefs had a receiver who was
No?
6'10", or a player who was 6'10", and he was able to do that. Like there was another rule about punching the ball into the other team's end zone. There was one about a defensive tackle or edge rusher who would smack you in the head. So he knew coming off the ball, if I smacked you in the head, it would phase you enough that I could put a move to get around you.
Yeah.
And the NFL got rid of
Deacon
that.
Jones.
I think it was Deacon Jones.
Deacon Jones. He wore basically a cast on his hand too.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Smack the shit out of you.
Cooper Cup. Sorry. Cooper
go
Cup.
ahead.
1947, 16 TDs.
Yes,
No
amazing
MVP.
year.
No MVP.
Who won it that year?
I don't know. Probably Patrick Mahomes.
What did Patrick Mahomes do?
I don't know who won that.
Sure, he had 5K.
147 receptions. 45 receptions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That is. He is not going to win it this year.
Dude, I'm
telling
telling
you
you,
right now.
you have 2,000 yards.
If you do,
15?
you're talking about doing something that's literally never been done
Right.
before.
That is what I'm saying.
And
that is what I'm saying.
And I will say right now, the quarterback play currently in the. I mean, and we're only 6. We're in week 7 now.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, week 8 now.
Well, week 8, like it's a long season, but I'm not seeing enough out of. Honestly, I know Mahomes and Lamar are like the leading candidates, but like. I'm not in
Right,
comparison to
there's-
their previous MVP seasons. I'm not saying them being better than that.
There's nothing. There's no
they're
historic
not,
trend
they're not
right
doing
now.
anything crazy.
They
Like
don't
they're not
need to
doing
be.
the
But
unthinkable.
Tyreek is on. We've never seen 2,000 receiving yards.
We've seen.
No, we've seen 1,900. We've never
Yeah.
seen 2,000.
Well,
We've
we've
seen-
seen guys break receiving yards.
Okay, but what I'm
And
saying,
that's historic.
but this is what I'm
isn't it?
saying.
Is
If
it
you,
not?
Braden, listen
So
to
the
me.
fact- the fact
you won't
that-
listen.
So
you
the
won't
fact,
listen.
So the fact that he's going to
No, because you won't.
55 more yards. Than the
No,
last
because
guy?
you won't listen.
Go ahead.
If he has 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and you also get the subpar quarterback, which is what Cooper Kupp didn't get, then that's a viable option for MVP.
I'm telling you right now, he's not even with 2K yards. He's not winning MVP.
2,015 touchdowns get him.
He's
Will
not
get him
winning.
MVP with the way the quarterbacks are playing,
Here's
without
the
a
thing.
doubt. You
His
pull up the
quarterback.
quarterback play in Cooper Kupp's year and tell me, yes, there's a difference.
It's crazy. I think Tyreek Hill's been in the league almost 7 years or 7 years. Like, where do you think? And this is just we can finish on this, but because I personally think there will never be another, at least currently, another Tyreek Hill. Like we've never seen anything like this in the National Football League, especially at the receiver position. I remember at one point or another, guys were saying he would not be better than Dante Hall. Like Jared was actually talking about that. So right now, career-wise, in 7 seasons, he's got 9,242 yards. I think that he has potential to finish his career in the top 20. I mean,
He's-
13. All he needs is 13,000 yards.
He's hinted that he doesn't want to play that long. So
How much
it'll
longer does he need to
definitely-
play, though?
It'll be interesting.
If he's at 7 seasons right now at almost 10K, and to crack the top 20, he needs 13,046 yards,
Aaron Rodgers won that year.
yeah.
which he didn't play that great. in my
4,100
opinion.
yards.
He didn't play that
40
great.
TDs.
I don't think he should have won. I
And-
think it's the
and
fact
like
that he
3
didn't
interceptions.
throw a lot of interceptions that year.
3 interceptions, 4,
Yeah,
2,
He was really efficient.
4 interceptions, 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
And then look at how he played in the
That's
postseason.
historic.
And look, yeah.
That's historic.
That's okay.
I don't think you've ever seen a bigger
Yeah.
touchdown ratio ever.
Real quick, while we're talking about Tyreek Hill, though,
Go ahead.
a lot of people are saying Tyreek Hill should be the number 1 pick for the 2028
Olympics.
flag football team for the USA.
I don't see why not.
My thing is, I don't think 2023 Tyreek Hill is going to be 2028 Tyreek Hill. People got to remember that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He is still going to be fast in that dude, but he's not going to be 2023 Tyreek Hill in 2028.
You're talking 5 years from now. He is 20. How old is Tyreek Hill?
29?
No, I don't think he's 29.
I think he's got to be 29, 30.
No, he's not.
Maybe
there.
not 30, but 29.
He's probably like 27, 28.
He's 29 years
29.
old.
Yeah,
29 years old. You're talking about when he's
34?
34. You don't think that he's going to still? Usain Bolt is running 30 miles an hour.
I just said he's going to still be that guy, but he's not going to be 29-year-old Tyreek Hill. He's not going to be. He's not going to be.
34-year-old Tyreek Hill will still be better than what any other country is able to put on the table.
No, listen.
I'm
he's going
listening
to play, but I'm saying what people are seeing right now.
But 5 years from now, there probably will be a better number one
There's
pick.
going to be a better Tyreek Hill 5 years from now.
I don't know.
There is.
We haven't seen it yet. He's been in the league for 7 years. We have not seen any player more electrifying than Tyreek Hill in the last 7 years.
Well, but we're talking about drafting for flag football.
Oh, yeah, of course.
In 2028. And
I mean,
that might be.
I might take him still. I can't. I don't see anybody else. No one else has shown me that.
But he'll be 34.
Well, we don't know who that is yet.
He'll be 34, and
we ain't
there's.
seen it yet.
That kid's in high school right now.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. If he's 34 and somebody like Jefferson or Chase ain't in their 30s yet, I might take them with the number one pick.
They're gonna be good.
I'm taking speed.
No, you're wrong.
Speed kills.
We should dominate. They say a lot of players want to play right now. They want to get it. They want to start. I was shocked at the interest, but then you think about it.
But you know,
a lot of these guys want to win a gold medal.
What is funny about this though, even though obviously the USA should win, we tend to find a way to not win in global sports.
Well, when we don't put all our dogs out there,
even when we put all our dogs out there.
Ooh.
Look at what men's basketball has done.
That happened one time.
Because we didn't put all our dogs out there.
That happened one time, and the dogs was not out there.
All of our dogs was not out there.
We don't do very well in FIBA either.
FIFA?
Is it FIBA? What is it?
FIFA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's FIBA. We do not do well in FIBA.
Well,
are you talking about FIFA? The
FIBA.
soccer?
It's Federal International Basketball Association, something like that.
I think we.
It's basically like the Olympics for basketball.
We do well in everything, but the expectation is gold medal. So that's
Bro.
And even the year we won gold with Kobe, when Kobe came, like that was a tough year for us. I think the USA
still dominated.
We did not dominate.
Yes, we did.
No,
they
we
literally
did not.
call it a redeem team. Like that last game, it was a lot closer than they wanted to be, but we dominated the entire time.
It was the redeem team because
we
4
lost.
year prior, we didn't have our dogs out there. And we sucked. So we said, hey, we need our dogs out there. And then LeBron and Kobe and Melo, and they dominated.
It was a great team. I think Dwight Howard was on that team.
Shout out to Dwight Howard right now.
Pause.
Going through some things.
You talking about?
But that's always been a thing for him, though. Like, and it's
this
not my
always
business.
been
it's
a
not my
rumor.
business, but it's like.
Hey, you see, look up. There's something that's stat. Our females, what is it? They've lost one game in the last like 20 years in the Olympics or something like that. It's something crazy.
Probably.
It's our female basketball in Olympics have lost it's something crazy. Like they've lost one game in the last 20 years. Something stupid. Like it's a dumb stat, man. Like we dominate female Olympic basketball.
Basketball. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just searched women's Olympics. Let's see here. Where can we find this? USA women's basketball team. Like
they basically,
so
I think it's like 19. It might be longer. I think it's like 1996. They haven't lost a game or something like that. It's crazy.
The greatest dynasty in basketball. The women's national team wins seven
straight.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That you know, Olympics is not every year.
Yeah, it's every 4
so
years.
So 7 straight is a span
40 years
of a long time.
I think it's crazy, bro. Like they have dominated. Like it's like they games. It is something.
Yeah. Now you think about it. Look at that, Sue Bird.
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, women.
If I was Germany, I'd say fuck this.
All right, boys. We got anything else you want to? Oh, we got a hypothetical.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
okay.
hear it.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite think of the third option.
I like the hypothetical. I stare right in the camera and I'll let them
Sorry,
know.
but
how
Can I say
feel.
this real quick before you get into that?
Uh-oh.
That's their last loss.
What's that?
Oh, they-
1992.
They like UConn.
Yeah.
They haven't lost since
Yeah.
1992. I thought it was worse. I thought it was.
That's
I thought it was
crazy.
96.
Because I mean, you could still technically lose and win gold, can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
you
guys
can.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've lost and still one goal, but
Yeah.
they haven't lost a game. That's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than the men's basketball when Magic Johnson explains the practices between. And then have you seen? Do you follow Lou Young? Oh, bro.
Oh,
no,
Lou
you-
Young is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. He's funny. He's
You
funny.
better go get him.
Yeah.
You better go get him.
That's
I come down the court.
That's hilarious.
Bro, he is hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
Shout out to Lou Young.
man, if you see this, brother,
Fucking
give us a
hilarious.
call. We'd love to have you on the show, man. You're great talent, man. You know he played in the league too for like 3 years. I think he played 3 or 4.
Oh,
and I think he
Yeah, I
played
think
it
it's like 3. I think
and
it's like 4 years.
And I think he played at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech is where
Yeah,
the
he
dogs
play-
go.
He played. He
the
was on-
D coordinator for Colorado was his coach at
At-
Georgia Tech.
at
Was
Georgia
he- was he-
Tech?
Was he was a DB too?
and I think Jarrett McKinnon played at Georgia Tech as well.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I think so.
Wow, Georgia Tech
Georgia,
put out some
it's
dogs.
a sneaky
Put out some
dog.
dogs, and they not bulldogs.
Real quick before we okay, hold on. Let's do this real quick.
Okay,
Because
We ain't never gonna get to this hypothetical.
I know we'll get to
Yeah,
we'll get
we'll
to
figure
it.
it
We'll do 2 things. We'll do this and a hypothetical.
I'm gonna let
okay?
you finish,
Okay.
but
So you got 2 wide receivers,
Uh-huh.
quarterback.
Yeah.
You got quarterback, 2 wide receivers. You got to have a tight end, and what else was it?
that sounds like we've done this before.
Sounds like 7-on-7.
And a running back. So you got a running back. So that's five players.
Okay.
This is right now. If the Olympics started now, who would you pull from the NFL?
Tyreek Hill,
Quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback.
Mahomes, Tyreek
if it's
Hill, Justin Jefferson, Christian
and
McCaffrey,
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
Dang.
It's really. It shouldn't be that complex of a
Nah,
question.
it's really not.
Wait,
really
yeah,
not.
just agreed on every position right
Look at
there.
Yeah.
those are the best. The best at
So
their
wait,
position.
let's slow down. Real quick. So,
What do you
Okay.
mean?
you saying Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, you thought this was gonna be a
Yeah.
debate?
Number 1 quarterback,
Patrick Mahomes, number 1 quarterback, number 1 wide receiver,
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill,
Hill.
number 2 wide receiver,
Justin Jefferson,
tight end.
number
Travis
1 tight end,
Kelce. Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
I don't see flag football though.
Was it flag football? Or I thought you just said flag football.
No, this is the Olympic flag football team.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I would still.
Yes.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
If it
at all.
started today, you gonna go with Travis Kelce.
Who else?
Yes.
Who else would you
Who
take
do
at
you
tight
wanna?
end?
Who do you
I'm
want?
probably gonna go Waller.
Why?
Really?
What has
Why-
he done?
I mean,
I mean,
he's faster, but
he's faster and honestly
But
probably
what
a
is-
better athlete all
So
around.
what does speed have to do
Okay,
with?
so-
but in
okay.
a football game, in a normal football game, I'm taking Travis Kelce, especially with Patrick Mahomes. But I mean, in a he's gonna moss everybody.
okay, so he's more athletic.
He's gonna moss everybody.
Travis Kelce has quite possibly the best hands. I think he's probably got the best catch ratio in the NFL.
Well, I mean, when
One
you
of the
when
best.
you, when you only do 5-yard
You
curl
literally
routes,
Still gotta catch the ball.
He's
Still
wide.
gotta
What-
catch the ball.
How many contested catches are he
But
really
you
doing?
also have to realize, well, his first 2 seasons, they wanted to get rid of him. They hated Travis Kelce because he dropped the ball all the time.
That's fine.
Fans hate.
That's
you
fine.
hear that
I'm
all
just-
the time. You
I'm
hear
just
that
saying,
all the
in,
time.
in flag football, it's like
I'm taking Waller.
I'm 100% not taking Darren Waller. Travis Kelce runs better routes. He might not be faster. He might not. Maybe he's not going to go for a 50-50 ball. But in flag football, I'm not fucking throwing a 50-50 ball to Travis Kelce when I've got Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill on my team.
And then Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
think
like,
first of all, I don't know if a country's gonna really be able to hold these guys. Maybe though. I don't know.
it depends. It depends. Like how many? I don't know how many guys in the NFL are from other countries. I think the NFL probably has the least amount of guys in the NFL. From other countries, but they do have now that pathway system. Like speaking of, like the dude's literally from Africa, has never played organized football
Yeah.
and is in the NFL, and he plays on defense. He's on the D line. He's never played organized football ever.
I will say this.
That's crazy to me.
If you've never played organized football, the D line is probably the least instructive
Yeah.
Yeah.
position.
You literally have one job. Go tackle quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, just figure it out.
They literally, hey, A gap, B gap, shoot the gap. If you want to stunt, there's not very many.
It ain't very complex.
Yeah, it's not complicated at all.
Yeah, you heard Lawrence Taylor even say, "I never knew what my assignment was."
Probably not.
He
Probably
was high.
not.
He was high though too.
I see like Joey Bosa and them. I
Yeah.
mean, they're lining up like.
Speaking
wide.
of Lawrence Taylor,
I'm like,
if
that
we're
can't
on
be
the
right.
subject, because everybody wanted to compare Micah Parsons to him, which honestly, after this season, I don't really think there's much of a comparison. Micah Parsons, great, phenomenal athlete. I don't know if you pay attention to the content we put out. I know you got a podcast. We'd love to make it on there if you want to talk about our takes. But I don't think that there will ever be a defensive player that is great. Obviously, there's one other, Aaron Donald. But, I mean, what Lawrence Taylor did was just –
I think there's two completely different players and two completely different eras.
Yeah, I
You're
mean, I
talking
agree
about.
with that, too.
Wait, what are they?
I
What are we doing here?
I guess he said Lawrence Taylor. The
Well,
comparison
they were comparing
to
to
Micah
Parsons. I see Micah Parsons more of like an outside linebacker and hybrid of DN than what Lawrence Taylor actually was.
Lawrence
But those
Taylor
were the comparisons when he first came into the league. His last season, this is his third season, right?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like that. That was the guy that compared him to. I'm just like, I don't know.
But this is two completely different games.
I just love when
man.
Lawrence Taylor said, he's like, hey, when you hear any conversation, what did he say? He's like, there's always, next to my name, there is always the greatest. Something like that. He said something like that.
Yeah.
Like I watched Lawrence Taylor's tape. I don't recall him really covering a slot receiver or
No.
a tight end. Like it's just a completely different game.
No, he's coming off the edge.
Micah
He was
Parsons could
knocking
do
them
that.
out.
He has to do that
He's great.
just because of the way the game is now.
And honestly, man, I love seeing these athletes use social media and their podcasts or YouTube, whatever, to their advantage to talk about teams. I love seeing him talk about why Daniel Jones was still out on the field in a blowout. That made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I loved hearing him talk about homeboy trying to get Chris Jones to badmouth. Was it Chris Jones?
Yeah, it was Chris Jones post game.
Yeah, like, and it's like he's an ex-player.
Yeah.
So I personally love seeing that. I think it's great. I will say the one thing, I don't know if you guys saw this, and this is just very off topic, but did you see he's the college football guy. What's his name? Black dude. He's been on college football for a long time. Desmond Howard. Did you see what he said?
Are you talking about when he
The
was
big-
talking about Penix?
Yes.
Yes.
The
about what?
big. You didn't see the video? Big penis energy. This is on national television.
Yes.
He's like,
But
they're
he
gonna
was
bring
talking about Washington's quarterback
Yeah.
using his name because his last name is Penix. And losing,
it was a
he
wild
was
take.
just big Penix energy, which came off as
penis.
like,
Yeah.
hey, there's kids watching here. So.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think he's probably going to be one of the better quarterbacks to come out into.
Oh yeah,
come out to success.
he's.
I love me the sneaky guys that nobody knows a
Yeah.
lot about. Doesn't have a lot of expectation. Doesn't have a lot of high ceiling. I think he's going to be pretty good. And he's on the one of the only undefeated teams. They're still undefeated, aren't they? Washington. So yeah, I don't know who's going to win the Heisman this year, but
Hypothetical.
yeah, let's get to it. I know you boys got to get out of here. Brandon just had a baby. Taysom needs his daddy. Honestly, he needs his mama more than he needs his daddy at this point.
Mama wants me to be there. Trust me.
Oh, absolutely. I hear you. So okay, we got a hypothetical here. Full game. So you got 4 quarters. You got 9 innings or extra innings. $1 million. Gary wants to throw $10 million at the last time. We're gonna keep it at $1 million.
Okay.
So for $1 million on the line,
I've done a lot worse for a lot less.
you need to. We'll just. I don't know how I feel about saying get a hit because it's just not that easy.
We're talking about fielding.
Yeah. Okay. Fielding. You need to field 3 outs.
At shortstop.
At shortstop.
This is
One of the
major
hardest.
league.
Major. Yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
for $1 million on the line, you need to field 3 outs in a major league game.
Mm-hmm.
You need to score 12 buckets in an NBA game.
Okay.
Or you need to throw for 100 yards in an NFL game. 4 quarters. Your defense is keeping you on the field.
100 yards?
100 yards.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I am taking 100 yards in an NFL game without a shadow of a doubt.
Like, you got CMC on your team?
Oh yes.
You just let
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah.
You can-
Screen passes.
You can pick whatever team,
Screen
whatever
passes.
team, whatever lineup you want to throw.
Hey, and you got 4 quarters to do it, bro. If you throw some picks, throw some picks. You know
There
what I'm
is
saying?
literally,
Terrifying.
there is
The
literally,
defense is keeping you on the field, is what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
So-
clarify the baseball one. you are at shortstop, right?
Yeah, you're playing shortstop.
You
You
gotta
need
play
to
shortstop.
field 3 outs.
Field 3 outs at
Ground
shortstop.
balls.
I
athletic.
just don't know if I can.
I don't think I got the.
I don't know if I can throw 85, 90 across the diamond to
I know I can't.
to-
There's no I
get
don't.
it there in time.
There's no I don't.
Maybe it depends on who's the runner. Maybe I don't know.
I think
I'm willing to take my
like,
chances with the. I can design some plays
Alright.
to give me 100 yards
For
over the course of
for
4
the
quarters.
content. Let's say this again.
You need to field 3 out for $1 million.
Shortstop.
$1 million online. Field 3 outs as shortstop. You got 9 innings to do so. You need to score 12 points in an NBA game, or you need to throw for 100 yards in an NFL game. 4 quarters. You can pick your team. You can pick your dynasty. In the last 100 years, anybody you want to play with, you can play with them.
But you
For $1
gotta
million.
you gotta perform those things.
You have to perform those things.
If with that said, I am the quarterback for the greatest show on turf.
No, absolutely. There's a play. There's literally a play on Madden that I do all the time.
No.
It's like a guarantee.
That doesn't mean
It's
it work
called-
in real life, Dominic.
It's called a halfback slip screen. I'm running that play every single time. I'm going for it on 4th down. Like we're gonna get this money, and I'm throwing for 100 yards.
I can throw some wide receiver
See, the
screens,
problem is with
some
Brandon though.
slants.
Brandon, you're 5'6", so it's hard to see over that line.
I don't have to see over the line if I'm throwing a screen. I just
I mean, you got to see something. There's
dumping
the
it off.
defensive lineman coming at you.
I was dumping it off.
Um,
And honestly, I'll probably be the quarterback for.
I think I'll be on 100 yards is tough though. We've seen
It's tough.
We
but
have seen quarterbacks. We just saw a stat where Tim Tebow completed 2 passes and still won the game.
Well,
So-
but he only threw the ball 8 times.
Still,
Or 4 times, maybe less than that.
I'm throwing the ball every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't rushing the ball.
Yeah,
We're in
$1
We're in shotgun formation.
Yes.
I'm slinging that thing. I'm running slants and I'm running screens. That's it.
yes.
That's
I don't
it.
know, man. I might chuck a couple deep.
Problem
man.
is the defense
get
can make
it over
adjustments though. The
I might
defense,
chuck it deep.
the defense can make adjustments.
Exactly.
Though.
So that's why you got to keep them on their toes.
I think in 4 quarters, if I'm out the entire time, what's the basketball game? 48 minutes, right? I think it's
A
48 minutes.
basketball game?
I think it's 48. It's 12-minute
Yeah,
quarters, right?
12-minute quarters.
I mean, 12 points is a lot. That's a lot of points
That's a
to
lot of
score.
points,
That's a
bro.
good stat line for anybody in the NBA. But I mean, if I can just throw it up, I mean,
Okay, but you
if I
got to
can just
remember.
throw it up.
You got to remember, everybody there is 6'5" and above.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
That ain't happening. Listen, I was a baseball player. I feel comfortable still throwing across the diamond. Well, making 3, I don't know. I mean, it's really not as hard as y'all think it is. Especially if you
No,
got
I don't think it is.
Hey,
I'm not saying
if you
it's
can
hard.
if you can field one ground ball, which I feel comfortable fielding a ground ball.
I think I could
runner
field.
on first base.
I could field 3 outs in the outfield.
Well, I don't think
is
that
that-
was part of
give me-
the.
Is that 2 outs though?
I don't think that was part of the.
If I field a ball, fling it to second base, that's 2 outs right there, right? Double play.
He's talking about getting double play.
Ah.
We're not gonna allow that.
Disqualified.
We're not gonna allow that.
What?
If you put me in the outfield, even though that's really hard too, I think I stand a better chance. If I could play in the outfield and catch a pop fly,
I'm doing outfield.
yeah, I'll do that.
I can do center.
I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know about center field. Give me right field.
I'm pretty comfortable with all 3. actually.
Or how about this?
I'm not
You're pretty comfortable with all 3?
I'm
12
pretty
points?
comfortable. I think I could snag 12 points.
Bruh, ain't no way.
In
No.
48 minutes,
I don't even think
I can snag.
I don't even think you could get past half court with the ball.
bruh. In 48 minutes, I'm coming out with at least 25 points.
No, you're not.
All right, and if it's a 4-quarter NFL game, I'm coming out with
All right, how about
with at least 200 yards.
how about this then? How about
All
this?
right.
We'll make the baseball one just a little tougher.
It's not that hard.
We'll make the it's very hard. We'll make the baseball one a little tougher. We'll scratch the outfield. You can play. You don't have to play from where the mound is because what's the mound? 90 feet.
60 feet,
6
6
feet.
inches.
So you can play from. That's very specific.
It is 60
I
feet.
mean, I know it is, but still, the way you said that, you can play from anywhere.
Okay.
So you can move the mound up if you like. If you'd like to,
All right, what are you about to say?
for $1 million,
Okay.
everything I just said, but you have to throw three outs.
Pitch 3 outs?
Pitch 3 outs.
Wait, strike people out?
Yeah, strike.
I got to
Oh,
strike.
strikeout? That's
I
a
gotta
big difference. That is a big
No,
difference.
strike.
that's
Or just a
Yeah,
strike.
yeah,
If,
I mean,
if you just need to get 3 outs, you can trust your team.
No,
But if you need to strike out 3 MLB hitters,
it's gonna be hard to even get 3 outs, bro. That's when you sitting up there.
it's
you're
gonna be hard for me to get 3 strikes.
bro, but I'm saying if you pitching and you get
no striking. You're not
it-
gonna strike any of them out.
exactly
You're not striking any of them out.
exactly.
But
You
I'm saying
you can
I'm
get
saying
3 outs.
It's gonna
Not everybody's going to hit a home run. You can get 3 outs.
At 60 feet 6 inches, I'm not sure I'm gonna put the ball in play to get hit. Is the problem?
You'll get her across there, and then they'll get her across there.
But it's got, listen. You're talking about guys who are consistently seeing 95 plus, and that's why you see it all the time when guys in the outfield come in there and they come in and pitch, and they're throwing like 65 miles an hour or 85 miles an hour.
It throws them off a little bit.
And it throws them off, and they get strikeouts sometimes because they're like, what the heck? But to do it, these dudes they'll adjust either which way. Like,
they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they do. Like I
innings
always
to figure
said,
it
I don't care if somebody comes up to the plate and he's throwing 110. MLB players are going to figure it out. They're going to figure out how to get a hit.
Oh yeah.
It's just gonna happen. They did that in China. They had like the best. Not China, but Japan.
And speaking of baseball, before we close out here, I'm not the biggest Phillies fan. I like to root for the Phillies just for Justin.
I was devastated.
You know, would love to see my guy get a World Series ring. But I'm not gonna lie, I like playoff Bryce Harper, man.
That boy is different.
He's different. Playoff. He's like playoff. Who is it? Who we used to call playoff? Was it playoff in the NBA?
Jimmy Butler. Yeah,
Butler.
Playoff
yeah,
P.
playoff
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it's like something
Jimmy
about
Butler only plays during the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like something about
He ain't
Bryce
gonna play
Harper.
82 games.
Bryce Harper in the playoffs, man. I'm like, hey, I like this guy, man. Like,
it's that swing. They call it controlled aggression.
And I love how he's just looking. I'm like, God damn.
He a shit talker too, bro. I don't care what anybody. I can't understand what he's saying. I know he's talking shit.
You gotta be.
Honestly, I don't think there's got to be a better moment in any outside of maybe golf, but in any professional sport than hitting a home run in front of 50,000 people.
Man,
in a World Series, like I don't know if that outside of maybe getting a hole in one in Augusta or Pebble Beach at a PGA tournament, like I could throw a touchdown pass and that'd be pretty dope. I could score a bucket, buzzer beater, but like hitting a home run in front of 50,000 fans, like that's got to feel great.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like
I cannot imagine
my own personal experience here.
In front of 2,000 fans.
I played in my high school. Every high school Friday night it's packed.
Gotcha.
I had a 60-yard touchdown run to win a game. It was great, right? Crowd going crazy, everybody jumping on me. In college, I had a walk-off grand slam, actually.
That's a lot better than 60 yards.
10 people there. maybe 10 people.
Felt great, though.
I will take that every single. It's not just because I'm a baseball fan. It's just something I if I continue playing football, maybe that would happen in long runs and stuff like that. Yeah. But just the feeling of just won it for your game.
A walk-off grand slam is much more impactful in the sport than a 60-yard run.
I would say everything has to line up. I mean,
we see 60-yard runs all the time, every Sunday.
Hitting a game winner in basketball,
in a
gotta
championship
be good.
game.
But a game-winning home run, a walk-off home run, everything has to line up perfectly.
Like you got to be at bat. It's like
bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, like everything's got to be
top
perfect.
of the ninth. It's got to be ninth inning. It's got to be a close game. Either down by one or down by however many runners on base. It's everything's got to align perfectly. And the pitch count, the ball, the hit, to take it out,
a full count. I mean,
everything's got to be.
Should that be a question as posed? Should we think about that for next show? Is there honestly a better feeling? Now, there's two feelings. They both come from baseball for me. It's hitting a walk-off, and the other good feeling is being in the outfield, because I was an outfielder. Throwing somebody out at home is one of the most great, because you just took that away from a man.
Cutoff man or no cutoff man?
No, there's all you. All you, straight to home plate.
Okay, because cutoff man, you can't take off. You can't take full credit.
No. It's all you.
I would honestly say, and again, I know you're not a golfer, but in a playoff hole, I mean, to hole out is probably pretty similar.
There is no situation in golf that would get you excited.
So you put
you excited? Are you kidding me?
I mean,
you put a playoff hole.
I've seen guys go get really excited for putting the golf ball 3 feet.
But do you know why they get excited? Because that putt is the difference between $900,000 and $2.5 million.
Gary, hold on. I will say. Let me retract myself.
And also,
Let
I've
me
never
retract-
had a home.
That's
Never
what-
had a hole in one.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Let me retract. A walk off. I would say a hole in one. Even not being an avid golfer, I'm a player.
Like, that's a fucking amazing feeling.
If I hit a hole in one,
Like
that might.
the odds of that are like,
me
hole in
picturing
one,
myself
that's
hitting a
amazing.
hole in one.
yeah,
It's
but you're
not
not a golfer.
It's not equal to.
But you're not a golfer.
Hitting a walk-off?
You can hit a hole in one on hole 3. That
Yeah,
doesn't
for
mean
sure.
you won the. Hitting a walk off means you won the game.
But we're talking about
People in the comments.
We're talking about the feeling though. Let's ask hitting
Walk-off?
a walk-off home run.
The feeling of winning
or
the
hitting-
game.
A walk off home run or a hole in one. Which one gives you the best? Was that the question? Best
Yeah,
feeling,
The best feeling.
or what would you rather do?
Honestly, it depends on the golf course. Like if I'm on Pebble Beach
What's
with
more
all my
impactful?
guys and we're on that, what is it, hole number 7, I think, on the ocean, and I hit a hole in one on one of the hardest par 3s in America. Like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, walk off is dope, but like that feeling right there is like that's a
Pretty dope.
That's a different feeling.
Listen, I love baseball. And I'm still, man.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't
We don't care. We don't care.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right, man. I think that wraps it up for today, man. Great to be back in the studio. Looking forward to missing another month. And I'm just kidding. Looking forward to next week. We'll see y'all later, man.
All right.